Hello, HOI friends and family. Thank you guys so much for attending the Hope Does live stream. We're going to be live here in about 10 minutes, so thanks for tuning in early and getting ready. Guys, we have a really incredible show for you tonight. John Burrough is going to cast the HOI vision. We'll hear from Camila, Reina, Director of Development, Education, and Government Relations, and of course, the incomparable Bob Goff. We're going to hear an incredible speech from Bob. Bob is a New York Times best-selling author and phenomenal speaker, but what it's really about tonight is impact. It's about strengthening communities through faith and partnership, and that's just what HOI does. So we can't wait to see you guys back here in about 9.5 minutes. live, but we got like 5 minutes. Okay, no, finish up. He's out there eating pizza. It's good pizza. It's like meat lovers. Really, really good stuff. Take your time. We got this. Welcome to the Hope Does live stream brought to you by HOI. We were about 5 minutes away from showtime. We're very excited, guys. Lots of great things to come. You should really look forward to John kind of laying out and casting the vision for HOI. I look forward to hearing from Camila Reina. She's the Director of Development, Education, and Government Relations. And of course, the incomparable Bob Goff, professional, phenomenal speaker, New York Times best-selling author. In the meantime, don't forget to go to hoi.org/donate. Couple different ways you can donate. You can do a one-time donation tonight. You can become a Hope 51 monthly sponsor. All kinds of different ways to donate and support the wonderful, amazing work that HOI does. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to get John. Hopefully he's done with his pizza. He'll drink a Coke, wash it down, and we'll come back in here and be with you in about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Thank you guys for joining tonight.
In 1987, a church group had a God-inspired dream to purchase a working ranch in rural Honduras and establish a mission outpost for visiting North Americans to connect with Hondurans. Since then, on average, more than 50 one-week mission teams visit the location each year. We have seen lives changed and generations transformed. This past year has been a challenging one. The challenges brought about by COVID-19 stripped us of the uniquely transformational and valuable gift of our ministry, presence. With thousands of miles between us, we were forced to reimagine how to minister to, how to connect with, and how to support our friends in Central America. Unable to be there in person, we could only help, pray, and give from afar as our friends navigated through a global pandemic and a historically destructive hurricane season. However, through it all, we've learned an important lesson. There is power in community, the importance of being a part of something bigger than ourselves. You see, we learned that community is more than simply presence, and that even when you're unable to physically be there for someone, by the grace of God and through His Holy Spirit, you're still able to provide care, relief, and hope for those you love. Over the past year, the HOI community has risen to the challenge again and again. We've leveraged technology and found creative and unique ways to remain connected and effective in our kingdom mission, regardless of where we are. Every HOI mission trip begins and ends the exact same way, hand in hand. North and Central Americans in a circle, in prayer. The unity doesn't have to stop there. The prayer doesn't have to stop there. The community doesn't have to stop there. In fact, it can't if we want to sustainably grow and strengthen our community as we invest in and provide hope for others. Let's extend that circle.
I'm thankful to be part of the HOI community.
I'm thankful to be part of the HOI community.
I am thankful to be part of the HOI community.
We're thankful to be a part of the HOI community.
I've always been thankful to be part of HOI community.
Muchas gracias, bendiciones.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. God bless you.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to HOI's Hope Does live stream. My name is Matt Chastain, I am your host, and we are here tonight strengthening communities through faith and partnerships. With me, my friend and yours, Mr. John Burrough, CEO of HOI. John, thanks for being here tonight.
Well, thanks for having us. We're really excited about tonight, really excited about celebrating what hope does and the amazing power that can have in people's lives. So, looking forward to a great evening.
So many great things this evening. I want to first, though, start by thanking a lot of the people who really made this night possible. This night, and actually the night we had last week. We had a live event last week here in the Atlanta area, and we're here tonight to kind of share a lot of that with you guys who weren't able to be here, you guys from around the country and really around the world. So I want to thank a lot of our sponsors who have really helped us get there. Our presenting sponsors, Grace Presbyterian Church, and Epic Entertainment and Sports, and also the Patillo Family Foundation. We also have our champion sponsors on the next slide, Delta, World Outreach Fund, and the Continental Building Solutions.
Yeah, and it's just absolutely amazing. We're so thankful to all of the families and all of the people that come alongside us as an organization and help a night like this, help a night that happened last week, really happen and really come and be great events. So thank you so much for walking alongside us and partnering with us.
And I can't wait to share a lot of the things that happened with you guys last week at the event. John really beautifully and eloquently laid out the vision of HOI. So I want to share that with you guys. We'll get to hear from Camila Reina. She's the Director of Development, Education, and Government Relations. And she really brings the heart of the impact of HOI and really the difference it makes in people's lives. And finally, I think what a lot of you guys are definitely here for is Bob Goff, who is just, you're going to laugh, you're going to be challenged, you're going to feel. And Bob obviously is a New York Times best-selling author and just a phenomenal speaker. So can't wait to hear from Bob.
Yeah, he does a phenomenal job of laying out a real challenge to us as people to get involved. And so I'm really excited about hearing from him again.
100%. Now, one thing I want to make sure to mention is all through the night, I want you to know how you can kind of donate and how you can participate and become a partner. So go to HOI.org/donate. And there's a couple different ways you can donate. You can do a one-time donation if you like, or you can become a Hope 51 partner with us. And that's a monthly sponsor. And we'll talk more about what that means later. So make sure you go to HOI.org/donate and check out all those ways. In the meantime, I want you guys to see how John laid out in the event last week the incredible vision of HOI.
We all love community. We all love the power of community. And you can think about community in two different ways. You can think about community as a group of people who live in a geographical location, but you also can think of community as a group of people who have a fellowship, a shared belief, ideology, shared vision, goals, dreams, desires, or interests. And both communities are important. See, our mission as an organization, our mission is to strengthen communities through faith and partnership. That's our mission. That's why we exist, is to come alongside communities and help strengthen those communities through faith and partnership. In the strength of a community, communities are made up of a lot of different parts and a lot of different people and a lot of different groups, right? I mean, we all live in communities from a geographical location or an interest location. And every community has strengths and weaknesses. Every community, like the Braves community right now, right? Kind of strong, everybody's on that. The Falcons community is long-suffering, right? Some of us have had specific parts in that suffering. But the strength of a community is really based on families. It's really based on an individual level. The strength of the community really comes down to how an individual perceives the life, the existence that they live in. It really comes down to how that person perceives life, perceives the world, the lens that they look through. And the lens that we all look through, the lens that a person will look through is really grounded, influenced, and foundationed in four fundamental basic relationships. Relationship with God, relationship with self, relationship with others, and relationship with the world that you live in. Because if you have this relationship and understanding that you were made by a maker, that you were not an accident, that you are planned, that there is intentionality that was put behind your design, that you were made in the image of God and you were fearfully and wonderfully made, you have dignity that cannot be taken away. You have dignity that cannot be taken away. And when people believe, when we as people start believing in that, that really affects how we see ourselves in the mirror. It starts affecting how you see the you in the mirror. And when that starts changing and you understand that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and then you start realizing others are fearfully and wonderfully made too, it changes how you view your neighbors, your family members, the community that you live in. And those four fundamental basic relationships are the backbone of everything that we do. In all of the work that HOI does, our mission is to strengthen communities through faith and partnership, and we want to impact those four fundamental basic relationships in one way or another. Because we know that if we can really align those relationships or help people see those relationships, it's going to give people the ability to have hope. And hope does amazing things. But here's the reality, is we work in rural communities. Rural communities that are filled with people that live with very, very, very little margin or almost no margin at all. And when you live with very little margin from a life standpoint, when you literally live on the edge of survival and the edge of existence day after day after day, and you don't have any margin in anything that bumps into your life, whether it's sickness, whether it's health or something like that, it pushes you down and down. And when you live in that day after day after day, as many of the people that we come in contact with, it starts weighing this burden and pushing you down and down and down. And every day, every amount of energy, everything that you have in your life goes into just how am I going to get through the day? How am I going to survive today? How am I going to provide food for my family? How am I going to educate my kids? And it starts decreasing the ability for you to see out, and it pushes you down and down and down. And you start living in a place of darkness where hope does not exist. And we've seen people, we've all experienced people that live in that area when you don't have margin in your life, and very little margin. When things push down, that pressure can be overwhelming, and it can push you down, and it can suffocate a person. And when that happens, people become desperate. And when desperation steps in, bad decisions are made. And you can't look up to see how to get out. Hope doesn't exist. And our mission is to strengthen communities through faith and partnership. In everything we're doing, we want to impact those 4 fundamental basic relationships. So when we walk into communities and start partnering with communities, whether it be through any program that we have, education, economic development, community development, healthcare, we are walking alongside agriculture. We're walking alongside communities. And the first and foremost thing that we want to communicate to a community is some simple, important words. We see you. Because if you live with that pressure day after day after day, you lose this dignity. You lose this drive for life. And when you walk along people and say, we see you, you are important, and you matter, we're willing to step alongside you. And we're willing to walk alongside you and help you strengthen families from an individual standpoint to families and to communities, and we're willing to be with you. And when you have our incredible HOI team that goes out in communities and assesses communities and develops strategy of how we're going to work in those communities and bring those communities into strong, and you have people that are going out and visiting in those communities and they're inspiring people to follow Jesus and helping them grow in their relationship. And you have people that are doing leadership training and helping equip the leaders in those communities and how you lead your family and promoting unity and dignity in those families. And then while you're doing that, you're coming alongside and helping gain access to quality health care, education, and economic opportunity. When you do that and you start walking alongside people, and you start seeing them see a glimmer of hope, and that seed of hope gets planted, and it starts to get water, and it gets nourished, and then it starts to root in. And when it roots in, families come alive. Families are strong. Communities become strong, and they start helping each other out, and they start serving each other, and then communities are helping communities. When you see that happen, you see an amazing impact from an individual, a family, a community level. And you see strong communities get to a place, as Leslie said, where they can flourish. That's our mission, is to strengthen the communities through faith and partnership. And there is an amazing opportunity to do that right now. An amazing opportunity to do that right now. The last 18 months that Leslie talked about of impact of COVID, of crashing of economy, of 2 major Cat 4, Cat 5 hurricanes blowing through, and the destruction that followed that, has pushed so many people who were living on the very edge of margin or with no margin. It's pushed them into that hole. And we have an amazing opportunity. That's the one thing that the last 18 months have revealed to us, is there is an amazing opportunity to come alongside and minister to people. There's an amazing opportunity way, way beyond what we serve right now. There's an opportunity that exists now, and we've had 32 years of lessons of how to come alongside communities and strengthen those communities. And there are many people that are ready for us to walk alongside them. Because hope does an amazing thing. Hope allows you to see a bright future. Hope allows you to activate your heart and your soul. Hope allows you to do an amazing thing, and that is to look up and see that there are opportunities and resources, but there are people around you that can help you walk into a brighter future. Hope does an amazing thing for communities. Hope does amazing things for families, but hope does an amazing thing for the soul of a human. And the impact is unbelievable.
The vision of HOI, so eloquently stated by John Burrough here. And I hope it's got me fired up. I hope it's got you guys fired up as well. And if so, just go to hoi.org/donate. Again, a couple different ways you can donate. You can give one time now or sign up for our Hope 51 monthly support. Hope you guys will consider doing that. But John, I got to tell you, after hearing your amazing speech here, and I look at an organization and I measure really if their heart is pointed in the right direction. Mm-hmm. You can look right at their mission statement. And yours, you said it a couple times during your speech, and we've heard it before, but strengthening communities through faith and partnership. To me, that's a really, really awesome mirror of the two commandments that Jesus gives, right? Love your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, strengthening communities through faith, and love your neighbor as yourself, strengthening communities through partnerships.
Yeah, Matt, it's so important for us to walk alongside communities and really think about how do you affect the whole of the community. And you can certainly come alongside and provide, access to healthcare, access to education, access to economic opportunity, and train a lot of people. But if you don't address the soul of a human being, you're missing a big piece of that, because individuals are not made up of nothing. Right. They have a soul inside of them that was created by the God that designed them. Yep. And when you walk alongside people and you are intentionally trying to help them see that and address that in those four fundamental basic relationships that I talked about, when you can walk alongside communities and families and individuals and you're addressing the soul of the human being while you're coming alongside them and really trying to help from an infrastructure standpoint, that's where strong communities really, really happen.
Absolutely. God changes the soul changes the individual to the family to the community to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and so mission and vision, all those are great, obviously. But where we really measure, I think, the effectiveness of an organization is in the impact. And I think no better example of that, no better illustration of that than the other night when Camila spoke about really what it means to be a person in Honduras impacted by HOI.
Yeah, she does an amazing job of really talking about the impact of people and individuals that come in contact with our organization and what happens with them. So excited for you guys to hear Camila.
Let's check her out right now.
So I once heard that anywhere you set your sights in Central America, there's a problem to be solved. I am Camila Reina, born and raised in Honduras, a beautiful place in the world, affected by natural disasters ranging from hurricanes to droughts, economic hardship, inequality, and I could stand here and talk to you for hours about a breadth of problems to be solved, that you would leave here disheartened and discouraged. So tonight, instead, I choose to talk to you about partnership, about service, what we do, and what we can do together, today and tomorrow. My path to service began when I was first introduced to HOI and its wonderful leadership. I was further inspired by the work and commitment of so many, thousands really, who undertook the adventurous, albeit brow-raising, trip to Honduras. As I joined this God-led mission, I understood something very clearly. I, and everyone else with an HOI name tag, does not work for HOI. We work for the people we've been called to serve. Long before roads were available, and electricity, and running water, Archie Crenshaw and Jerry Eichhoff took a trip to a small eastern valley in Honduras. And 30+ years later, we are all in this room because of them. 32 years later, the power of this call to service and the power of this partnership allowed HOI to serve tens of thousands of individuals, thousands of families, hundreds of communities, and positively impact very specific areas in their lives: education, healthcare, clean water, faith, community, organization, and opportunity. Where I come from, opportunity is reserved for a select few. But I believe this is because we have a myopic misconception of what opportunity is. The nuance in opportunity is that it is not only something we reach, better yet, it is something we can create. HOI did not build roads, and they did not install all of the running water. But this work, guided by faith and love, has built and equipped clinics and schools and continues to support them, champions small businesses and entrepreneurs, works incessantly in clean water education, organizes community leadership through micro-banking initiatives, and opens and closes with prayer. And this all creates opportunity. Opportunity for an improved quality of living, opportunity to understand that you are not alone, opportunity to build stronger, healthier communities, opportunity to set a foundation for a place in the world where local leadership is beyond empowered, it has agency. And if I speak to you about this with earnest conviction, it is because I know this happens every day at HOI, because this is our mission. I also believe it is opportunity which brings you all here today. The opportunity to turn hope into action and service. The opportunity to do for some what we wish we could do for all. The opportunity for all of us to be upstanders, not bystanders. We decide on issues, large and small, whether we will be upstanders or bystanders. Upstanders for individuals, families, and communities who hope to thrive and prosper. HOI's work and country is led by dedicated Hondurans who want to see positive change happen. They know names, they know stories, families, and communities, and this is why the work is effective. There is not just a sense of responsibility, there is a sense of belonging. We work alongside people who are not looking for a handout, but a hand up, and this is why partnerships are important. Partnering with HOI is partnering with individuals who are eager to learn, eager to be self-sufficient, and eager to contribute to a stronger society. Partnering with HOI is supporting people in Central America who want to see their communities thrive, who want to turn an atmosphere of collective despair, learned hopelessness, and indifference into places of hope, opportunity, and optimism for the future. Partnering with HOI is championing local physicians, teachers, pastors, farmers, students, mothers, and families who are leading the way and making a difference in their communities. We are excited for the future, and we have a model that we know can be implemented in new areas, built on the foundation that so many superb people started laying back in 1989. But tonight, I ask you to help us carry that forward.
You know, Camila said something there that really, I think, it struck my heart. And I've heard the speech several times, but it hit me just now more than before. She talked about the opportunity to turn hope into action.
Yeah.
And that's all. I've been down to Central America. That's all these communities need, is just that opportunity. And that's what HOI provides. But we need your help in order to provide that opportunity to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope does amazing things. Yeah. Hope inspires so many things in people's lives. And here's the reality, is generosity fuels change. Mm-hmm. Generosity fuels the planting of the seed of hope. It fuels the watering of the seed of hope. It fuels it to a point where it can really root in and people's lives can really change and take off. You know, our mission is to strengthen communities through faith and partnership. In everything that we do, whatever program area that we're walking alongside communities. We're looking to inspire people to follow Jesus and grow in the relationship. And in so many areas, what that does intrinsically in a person's soul is it inspires hope. And hope, when hope exists, hope does amazing things in a person's life. Hope brings dignity. Hope brings vision. Hope brings clarity. Hope brings opportunity for people to look up and see a better way to go. But that can't happen without amazing, amazing partners. And so we would love for you to invest in the work that HOI is engaged in. We would love for you to invest in the lives of the people that HOI is so amazingly honored to come along and serve. And right now we have an amazing opportunity. As I said when I was talking earlier, this is a point of time in the life of our organization where there is an amazing opportunity that has been created by the last 18 months of experience of COVID impact, of hurricanes, of economic class. You have people that have been pushed off the edge and living in that hole. And we have an opportunity right now to come alongside thousands and thousands of more people than we're serving right now. We have a plan. We have an incredible team, we have a model, and we have an ability to come alongside organizations, and we need your help to do that. So we're asking for you to invest in the work that HOI is doing. Invest in becoming a partner with HOI. Walk alongside us and see the impact that it has in people's lives. It is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. And you can bless the people that HOI serve with hope and with opportunity if you go to hoi.org/donate. Again, make a one-time donation, that'd be great. Or, and probably preferably, become a monthly sponsor with Hope 51. And that's so important, I think, for the organization to be able to plan long-term through these monthly sponsorships.
It certainly helps. It absolutely certainly helps to be able to create budgets and create plans. To walk alongside. It gives a grounding for an organization to really look out with the opportunities ahead of us and say, hey, we can actually plan to go and do this. And there's, like I said, there's thousands of lives outside of what we're currently doing that we can actually jump in and really make a difference right now.
You know, it's been a really tough and trying 18, 20 months for everybody around the world. And I know us here in America, we may feel, kind of depressed at times. And what I always tell people, when you're feeling down and you're feeling a little depressed, the best thing you can do is to step outside of yourself and go find a way to bless others. It's an immediate, it's a pure immediate gratification that again serves Jesus' first two rules, like love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, love your neighbor as yourself, and this is a great way to do that.
And like I said, generosity fuels change. Yeah. Generosity doesn't only fuel change in the lives of the people that we are honored to serve. Generosity fuels change in our hearts and our lives too. And it's a beautiful thing because it allows you to step outside of yourself and really come along and help other people.
Absolutely. So the name of this program tonight is Hope Does, really bringing hope into action. And if you were there the other night, you saw this, you know how amazing it was, but if not, you're in for quite a treat because that's what Bob Goff's speech was really all about. And so I hope you'll check out Bob Goff. You know him, he's an amazing speaker. He's a New York Times best-selling author. So let's kick it over right now to Bob Goff.
Wow. Well, hi, everybody. So I'm Bob. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for letting me be with you tonight. And Camila, what a beautiful talk. I'm like, girl, you got it. And it isn't just the words, because they're heartfelt. It's the delivery. And then having friends surround you. I'm emotionally incontinent. I mean, I cry at everything, which is really a problem if you're a trial lawyer. Judge, you have a hanky? I was thinking about Hebrews 11:1. Let's put that slide up there. Hebrews 11:1. It says this. It's going to show up in a moment. And it says that faith is confidence in what you're hoping for, assurance in what you haven't seen yet. And I think when I hear about what's going on in Honduras and the efforts that you guys have made over decades, I mean, just you're confident in what you're hoping for. What you're hoping for is change, that people would experience the kind of lives that would be meaningful and purposeful. And you get the opportunity to do that, to be part of what makes it a beautiful thing for them to live into, They know what they're hoping for. You have confidence in what you haven't quite seen yet, but you continue to try. I know what I was wanting is grandchildren. In the worst way. Some of you may know I have one that's due right now, but I had been hoping for years and years. I got 3 kids that are married, and my son took his wife to Hawaii. And he called me up. He said, Dad, it's been raining all week. I'm like, yes! More wine to the cabana. And now I'm a grandpa. I was confident what I was hoping for. I had assurance of what I hadn't seen yet. What are you hoping for Honduras? What is it that you haven't seen yet? And you get to be a part of having this thing emerge along the way. Junior high school for me, I wanted a date in the worst way. Everybody else seemed to be going out. I'm on their Stingrays, but nothing for me. So I thought certainly in high school, there'll be someone for me. Nothing, 4 years of high school. And I thought, well, then it was time for college. I squeezed 4 years of college into 5. And I thought certainly I could go out on a date. No takers. I asked a lot, but with a face like this, I mean, who could imagine? And I was in my 2nd year of law school, and sweet Maria walks through the room. And I'm like, yes, you will be mine. She's been in the room for 3 minutes, and I'm picking out names for our kids. We're going to make them, and we're going to name them. Well, she said no as well. I was like, darn it. So I found out that she was going to go up to this camp. It was a Young Life camp called Oak Bridge, and she was going to do women's work crew. So she got 10 high school girls to go with her. So I'm no dummy. I got 10 high school guys like that. I wanted to get to Jason where the action was. And on the first night where they're having dinner, this elderly woman, her pacemaker stops. She face plants in the spaghetti. She's gone. Like, go to Jesus, dead. But I knew how to do CPR. And I got her on the floor. I am pumping on her chest. I'm blowing into her wrinkled lips. It was not the first kiss I was hoping for. And she woke up to full Lazarus. Like, she's surprised. I'm surprised. I'm like, yeah. And Maria thought, this guy's not much to look at, but he'd be useful in a pinch. What is it that you're hoping for? What is it that you haven't just seen yet? 2 Peter 1:3. I'm a Bible verse guy. Faith is a big deal for me. It isn't for everybody. But what 2 Peter 1:3 says is that the Lord is going to provide everything you need to lead a godly life. And that's a promise to a Honduran, and it's a promise to you. He'll provide everything he needs. I think what he might be providing to some of our friends in Honduras is you, right here. I recently did this bus trip through the South, and we got to Texas, and there's a city in Texas, and it's called Happy. Go ahead. I dare you. We're going to do this all night. It's called Happy. There's a place called Happy, and a lot of us are aiming for happy. But I think what Jesus Christ invites us into is a place called Holy, where we start living out of the box. We say, what has God given us? So we can start pulling it out and getting it to work, right? We turned on that offering. How could you not take this offering that says happy? And this is what was waiting for us. This is happy. There's a place that's called the Happy Center. Like, there's also a place called the drugstore. Like, so, but I started getting curious about what names of different cities were. There's a city in Arizona called Y. And so what I did is I had some time on my hands. It's 847 miles from Happy to Y. And I think what we need to do is take that trip ourselves. We need to say, if we're looking for fulfillment, if we're looking for this purposeful life that God has invited you into, whether you're doing this thing because you follow the steps of Jesus, and that's beautiful and bold, or if you're doing it because you believe in humanity, and that is beautiful and bold, I just want you to make the trip. Don't just watch it, do it. Camila just said it so well. What if we're the ones that actually do this stuff? What we end up doing is we get distracted along the way. Are you like me? I'm like that dog and up. I'm like, squirrel. And I brought this to kind of illustrate for you. Remember these? This is not COVID. Don't get one of these in your nose. But when you're a kid, you play with this ball and you have these beautiful things that are going on. You're just fascinated by what's happening. But then what happens sometimes is we have disagreements with people. People are living their lives differently. You might be married to one of them. And they're actually kind of hard to deal with sometimes. No pointing fingers. But what happens, you might have a dispute and it starts really small, right? And then it gets really big, right? This is what happens. What happens to distract us is we take small things and we make big things out of them. And here's where it costs us. We take big things like our friends in Honduras and we make small things out of it. We say they're people with problems. That maybe somebody else is going to step in. I mean, you've heard these beautiful words that John and Camila have spoken. And what I want to do is right size what we're doing. I want to just not get distracted by making big out of small or small out of big, but to do the thing that's right in the middle, to right size this thing. I actually had a center seat on the way out here from San Diego, and I did this social sciences experiment. I did this the whole way. Oh, those guys were distracted. What I want us to do is kind of right size your faith. You have all this stuff that you believe, and then this is a great chance to do it. And what God isn't calling us to is to live here on Activity Road. Some of us do. We're just like, go, 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 go. We think we're providing for the people around us, but what we're not doing is providing what they really need. What they need you is to take your gifts out of the box. Take some of the things, go to Honduras, pull behind, do the magnificent things that I've been hearing about tonight that you're already doing, and do continue to do more of that. And I'm so on the move. I haven't sometimes slowed down to say, what can I do right here? I love in the South, you say, be where your feet are, right? To be just fully present here, not distracted by your iPhones. This wouldn't be the first time an Apple did you in, but to just not be distracted, but be fully present in the moment and stand in the shoes of maybe some of our Honduran friends. We had a bit of an intervention where I live, and we took my travel schedule for 8 months, and they got yarn and they put it on this map. This is what they came up with. I mean, that dude's got issues. His issues have issues. Sometimes what we do is we medicate, we fill our insecurities with a bunch of activity. And I think what I want us to do is to actually slow it down, bring it down a notch. Say, what is it that's driving all this for us? I mean, you guys wouldn't guess this, but I'm a super insecure person. Would that be your first guess? No, what I did is I learned to mask that with a lot of activity and being funny. So when little Bobby Goff, super insecure. There was a person that was really mean that used to call me Spot. I have these freckles everywhere. I'm not going to tell you my sister's name. But what Karen would do every time. And so what I learned to guard my little 8-year-old heart is just be funny, just blow things off. And what I ended up doing is staying really shallow. I ended up being like a snorkeler when God's invited us to be shipwreck divers. He wants us to go deep with people. He wants us to engage the difficult things around us, but it'll wear you out to get there. Paul was talking about something very similar. He said, let's not grow weary of doing good, because in the right time, not Bob time, not Jim time, in the right time, there's going to be a harvest if we don't give up. People of God, don't give up. I know there's stuff that's distracting around you. I fall prey to it all the time, but I'm just not going to give up. It's just too good. These are our neighbors. These are our roommates in heaven for eternity. And I want to say, I think that's why eternity is going to take so long, because we're going to be meeting people and they say, this is what you did. You had no idea what it did for me. Just because you did what you did, because you took it out of the box, it changed everything for me. I think these are the stories. I think heaven is leaning over the rails, living in anticipation of what might happen next. I have a very kind of reformed theology. God knows everything that has happened, is happening, and is going to happen. But the angels don't. And so we get a chance to participate in this kind of angelic work that God would talk to us later about and say these words, well done. We just can't be distracted. I launched Love Does, this baby into the world. I poured my heart into it. And it goes on Amazon, and people write Amazon reviews. Maybe you're among them. This is the first Amazon review I saw. It said this, Love does. I don't get it. Big effing whoop. I'm like, Dad, like... But you don't have to guess about what Jesus wants. It's Matthew 25. And it says, I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger. I was kind of creepy and you invited me in. I was sick and you comforted me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was in jail and you came. People, that's it. Hungry people, thirsty people, sick people, strange people, naked people, and people in jail. You can never tell if somebody's hungry, but you can always tell if they're naked. What I want you to do is do something about something. Get it out of the box. There's something beautiful that happens. And he talked about people that were in jail. At my grandparents' house, there was a famous painting, and it's called The Cardinal. And you can see what happens to the cardinal here. The cardinal is asleep, and the artist is trying to figure out what would that guy look like if he was actually awake. It doesn't happen very often, but I got invited to speak at a church twice. And on the second time, I was thinking, what can I bring? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to bring a live chicken. You guys should know this if you're from Georgia. Do you know you can put a chicken to sleep? Have you ever tried that, Camila? Oh, girl, tonight is your night. Like, yeah, you take the chicken, you put it on its back, and you just start rubbing under its neck right there about 20 times. And on about the 20th time, it's gone. And I got the chicken under. I put my hands in my pocket. There's 3,000 people in this auditorium. And I just gave the sermon. And 3,000 people are thinking, when's the chicken gonna wake up? I'm like, that's exactly how God feels about you. What I want to do is wake up. Like, wake up. You have a period of time. 27,373 days. More if you eat broccoli, less if you eat Pop-Tarts. You know who you are. What are you going to do? That sounded like a big number till I had 24,000 in the rearview mirror. I'm like, darn it. But what I'm trying to do is I want to be really engaged in what I do. I'm trying to take it out of the box. I don't want it sealed up with some wings on it because it makes a great story. What makes a better story is when we take it out of the box and find people in need and do something about it. But it's going to take some trust. To get there, it's going to take some faith. And remember what faith is? It's confidence in what you're hoping for, assurance in what you haven't seen. I was reading what you guys have been reading about going on in Afghanistan for the last 3 or 4 years. The Taliban wouldn't let little girls learn how to read and write. And that just ticked me off. But I don't know anybody in Afghanistan. Do you? You know what I did? I got on WhatsApp. You guys have that app on your phone? I met this guy. He said he's from Afghanistan. I'm like, awesome, I'm looking. And I met this guy, and I'm trying to figure out what team he's playing for, because you can't be talking to the wrong team. So I'm asking questions like, so how do you spend your day? When I say the word enemy, who pops to mind? Like, crickets. So nobody would do this. And so I go to Washington, D.C., and I ask our team, like, who knows who's who over there. And this is what I get. They said, he's a good guy. I mean, like, got any more detail? Nothing. So what I did is 3.5 years ago, I flew to Kabul, Afghanistan to meet the guy. What a stupid idea. I get to the airport. I get a text message from him. He said, Bob, I can't meet you at the airport. I'm like, shoot. Actually, let me keep it real. I did not say shoot. Taking baby steps. And he said, what you need to do is leave the airport and start walking through Kabul. And you're going to come to a car. The engine will be running. The last number on the license plate's a 7. Get in the car. Now, how many of you would say, I'm out of here? How many of you other 7s on the internet? What could possibly go wrong? So he just started walking. And I found the car, the engine was running, I got in, the guy driving doesn't speak English, I don't speak him. And I get a phone call, and it's this guy that I came to visit. You know what he wanted to know? He wanted to know if I would trust him enough to do what he told me to do. Then he'd trust me enough to build a girls' school. And you guys, we started in Mazar al-Sharif, the capital of the Taliban, and we built one of these. Every single day, hundreds of little girls come. They show up to get books, to learn. We're reopening the school with the permission of the Taliban next week. They get things that they don't have. They have opportunity. It's what's happening down in Honduras. They're kids that are learning about who they are. They're kids that actually learn about the bright hope that's in front of them because somebody took stuff out of the box. Go ahead and put the next one up. Like, they're kids that are learning about balloons that haven't seen balloons before. I asked the leaders of 170 leaders from all of Afghanistan's warring provinces to meet me in Kabul. Do you know how many showed up? 170. They're interested in hope. They want to talk about this stuff. This is not what you're going to see on the newspaper. And there's a lot of tragedy, but there's even more hope. And I think that's true of Honduras. It's true of the whole world. And you guys are hope launchers. You're the ones that pull it out of the box and say, let's go do this thing. Let's make some stuff happen in somebody's life that otherwise wouldn't. I'm going to tell you this as I start winding down. There's a place where we're building our second school. The Taliban came and they raided the place. The Afghan army ran away, which it evidently always does. And they took all the tanks. They took all the munitions. They took everything. But you know what? The people in that community rose up and they took it back. And this is what they did with the tanks. They painted them to look like ladybugs. That's what hope looks like, you guys. It looks the same in Honduras. It looks the same throughout Central America. It's people saying, I'm going to run the race with you. I'm going to just be beside you in this. And I want to finish with a little clip that came to mind as I was thinking about our time here. And our friends would be coming up from Honduras to thank you for making the trip. Like, I just feel like a kinship with Honduras, don't you? When you just hear, I feel like I met you and I met everybody. Isn't that crazy how that works? You meet one person, I feel like Honduras, we're like this. No light separating us. But I thought about this idea of running, and this is a group of people at a place called Echo Park that isn't far from my house, and this is what they did. Can you put that a little clip up on?
Here comes the runner.
Could I run with you? Sure. Is that okay? Yeah. Hey, could I run with you? Yeah. Can I just join your jog?
Do it.
I'm just about done, but I'll go with you to the end. Okay. I'm Asia. Morgan. Nice to meet you, Morgan.
Morgan.
30 seconds.
They're coming towards you, station one.
First sign's going up. Now. Is that your name? Oh, that's my name.
I was just about to quit. People of God, we're running this race with our friends with Honduras. Don't grow weary of doing good work, because at the right time, there's going to be a harvest if we don't give up. And we're not going to give up. Blessings.
John, I got to tell you, that running video, I kind of teared up a little bit. It makes me want to go run with somebody, go make an impact.
That's what we do. What you
do.
saw there, that's
Yeah.
what we as an organization do. We come alongside individuals and we come alongside communities. I mean, that's what we do. We come alongside and say, hey, I know you're about ready to quit, but we're going to walk with you. You matter. Come on, let's go. And when you walk alongside communities and you enter their lives and you're cheering them on and you're helping them run to a finish line, that's the celebration. That's the celebration right there. I love that video because that's what we do as an organization. That's what we do.
Just like those runners, you're giving people hope. You're bringing hope to their communities. Like all those people who ran with Forrest Gump in the movies. Hey, that's what he said. As people said, it gave me hope, and that's what the communities need.
And that's why we need your help.
Yeah.
That's why we need you to come alongside us and partner with us, because what you saw in that running video, we have thousands of people in dozens or hundreds of communities that we can do that with in this time right now. We are so thankful that you're tuned in and watching with us and for your partnership, but we do ask you to invest, because what you saw in that video, that's what we do, and we need your help.
So one more time before the night ends, go to hoi.org/donate. One-time donations are great, but becoming a Hope 51 monthly sponsor, even better. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. We had a great time. Hope you enjoyed all the content from the big event last week. And John, had a great time with you tonight. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of that. I just want to thank you guys for what you do for these communities in Central America and around the world.
Well, we're honored to be involved in the work that God is doing in the lives of His people. For everyone that's tuned in, thank you so much for being a part of our family. Thank you for watching. Thank you for investing in the work that God is allowing us to do. You make a difference.
We strengthen communities through faith and partnership. And that's what HOI does. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.